Alrighty. What's up, everybody? I'm getting everything set up so that we can start our weekly live. If you follow me on Facebook, unfortunately, uh, well, I guess not unfortunately, but unfortunately, my Facebook page cannot post right now because both of my personal pages are blocked. No, I don't want to talk about it. But I really wanted to keep this week's live going, especially because tonight we have another webinar. I'm actually really excited about the one tonight. I love doing this one just because it's so much really good information, and I typically get some really good questions from it. So I don't know. I'm kind of excited just to see how. I'm excited for the live tonight. For the webinar tonight. But what's up, everybody? If you're new here, my name is Markia. I'm known on social media as the Money Plug. I'm a board certified credit repair specialist and credit score consultant. And I want to talk to y'all about some comments that I've gotten all week, it feels like. So you guys know earlier in the week, we went live to talk about Lil Duval's comments on Instagram. And pretty much the revelation that America, or Black America anyway, has had this week. And the revelation was that credit scores were not created until 1989. Nobody really knew this until the Lil Duval post, and then it kind of blew up on Twitter. It was already kind of blown up on Twitter, but it just went even crazier. And so like people start, of course, everybody's dropped like theories and things like that. But we talked about it earlier this week. And that kind of opened up the door to a couple of other conversations that have gone on both on and off of TikTok. One of them being credit repair is a scam, right? So because credit is a scam, credit repair is a scam, and it capitalizes on the misfortune of people, essentially. Like that whole industry just has to be a scam. And so instead of fighting for my life in comments, I figured since we go live every Friday anyway, I really wanted to talk to you guys about it. One, to see how other people feel about it, because it's not an uncommon opinion. I'm going to be honest with you guys. It's definitely not an uncommon opinion. I hear it a whole lot, but I want to know people's reasonings. Why do you believe that? Why do you really believe that credit repair is a scam? What made you feel that way? Because 90% of the people, 97% of the people that I've talked to this week who felt that way because they had a bad experience with a different business, or a family member had a bad experience with a business, or the whole Darius Cooks thing, or like just somebody else, but somebody had a bad experience. Yeah, of course, you guys can answer. You are welcome to ask questions in the comments. But so many people have had bad experience with credit repair companies. And so that's kind of like jaded their opinion, I guess you could say. And I just really want to know, why do you guys think that credit repair is a scam? Right? And so, of course, I'm on the opposite side of that spectrum. I don't believe credit repair is a scam. Can there be credit repair companies who scam you guys? Of course it can. Hold on, I'm going live on Instagram too. Are there companies that I believe scam people? Of course. Every good industry has scam companies attached to it. So like y'all remember when like at the height of the pandemic, those boutiques that were popping up on Instagram and everybody had a Shopify account or a big cartel or whatever, and everybody was selling clothes, and like you've placed orders and then just never got your stuff, or like the Instagram page disappeared or you got blocked or whatever. Every industry has businesses who just don't perform, and it kind of puts a stain on the rest of the industry. But I truly believe in credit repair, not because I'm a credit repair specialist, but because of, look at the platform that I built teaching you guys how to do it yourself. If credit repair was a scam, I would not have the following that I have. I would not have people, emailing me, commenting on the lives and stuff saying, I took your tips and it changed my life. I finally bought my house, or you broke it down to me in a way that I've never been able to understand it in my entire adult life. Thank you. If credit repair in and of itself as a system was a scam, then how does it work? You get what I'm saying? Like, not everybody has a negative experience. I really think we need to stop generalizing these statements and start getting specific. Credit repair isn't the scam. The company that you worked with is a scam. Let's just call it what it is. Credit repair works when it's done correctly. No, credit repair is not those 30-day fixes. Credit repair is not, y'all be making me feel so good in these comments. Thank you. Like, hold on. Okay, so finally Instagram is up. Okay, there we go. So like I don't think credit repair is a scam. I think the businesses that you've worked with, that's just like saying, okay, so this is going so left field, but I swear to God, y'all gonna get it after this. That's just like when women get on social media and be like, all men ain't shit. All men ain't shit, or the ones you deal with ain't shit. Yeah, like y'all see where I'm coming from with that? Like, and it's really sad to me in a sense, because sometimes I feel like, damn, y'all didn't even give me a chance. Like, or I'll have people who come in my comments on social media, hey y'all, and they just like, oh, I don't even know. Y'all better not pay nobody to fix your credit. Da 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 da. First of all, when I post on social media, it's not for clients. The majority, and I have over 200 videos, way past 200 videos on TikTok. The majority of my videos is me teaching y'all how to do it yourself. So am I really trying to scam you, or am I trying to help? I'm not the one that hurt you. I don't, and then like, or a lot of y'all, and I get a lot of people who will email me and be like, I want to hire you, but I don't know you, or I don't trust you. I had a lady sign up with me and scheduled an appointment, paid and everything, but didn't want to upload her identification documents because she said she was not comfortable. And I ended up refunding her because I was like, at the end of the day, I am not at fault for your trust issues. Y'all got to learn how to separate y'all feelings, y'all feelings from a specific situation from people in general. Oh, thank you, Carolyn. Like y'all just gotta learn how to do that, because I did not hurt y'all. I did nothing to y'all. I come on here damn near every day and give every piece of me to y'all. I spend hours doing research, posting videos, scheduling content, responding to emails. You know what I'm saying? I literally go through almost all of my TikTok comments and try to respond to all of y'all comments. I'm posting IG reels. I'm posting on Twitter, Pinterest. Like I'm really giving a lot to this. And for people to spit in my face and it's funny because these same people have watched multiple videos of mine and be like, nah, this shit is scam, yo. Like, what y'all listening to her for? You can do it yourself. And then proceed to give y'all incorrect information. And y'all eat that shit up because of the negative experiences that you've had. So now you taking advice from somebody who has done nothing to prove to you that they even know what the fuck they talking about, all because of your experience, that one negative experience that you had, or somebody, your cousin's cousin had. You see what I'm saying? Others you can tell just about the money. For sure. Oh, for sure. You can always tell. You can always tell who's just about the money. Always. The thing about authenticity and especially, and I think, this is what I love about being a content creator. Gone are the days where you could just be mediocre and become a millionaire, right? Like when you come on here and you're trying to build a platform or establish some kind of social proof around yourself, it's going to expose you every time. TikTok is not like how Instagram and Facebook was when it first came out. On those sites, y'all remember Tumblr and all that stuff. You could be whoever you wanted to be. TikTok will expose the shit out you, because after a while, you're going to run out of content. After a while, you're going to run out of things to say. After a while, you're going to run out of gimmicks and catchy hooks and things like that. But when you are your authentic self, that really shines through. You know, I was taking a training the other day on it was a training talking about pitching to magazines and stuff like that. For those of you who don't know, I've been in a couple of different publications as a subject matter expert on credit literacy. And so I think I'm ready to start writing, right? So I started taking this class, and it was a quote that they had in the class, and it was like, speakers don't get writer's block. If you write how you talk, or if your content is exactly how you speak, you will never run out of things to say. I don't have to sit here and type out a script when I'm going over stuff, when I'm going over content, or what am I going to talk about today, right? That's not the part of the content that takes forever for me. For me, it's the recording the content without dropping the F-bomb every 6 fucking seconds. Well, see, look, so that's my issue. But because I post like I talk, I am my true authentic self on social media. That is why my content is easier for you guys to get. That is why it's easier for you guys to understand it. It's easier for you guys to digest it. Whereas I'm not coming to you selling a product. When I get on here, I'm not selling a product. I'm not selling myself. I'm teaching. And I really think that makes a big difference when it comes to these companies too, because you can throw money at problems, but credit is not one of those things, you know, where you can just throw money at it and think that that's going to fix the issue. Are you learning something? If you hire somebody to do a service for you, it's not just about the service, it's about the experience. So anybody who's ever had an appointment with me, you can't leave till you learn something. Like, even if I'm the one fixing your credit, you need to learn something. Let's talk about how your credit score is calculated. What did you do to get here? How can we make it so you never get to that point again? When you hire someone for a service, yes, they're coming to fix the problem, but are they also giving you something, leaving you with something that's going to enable you to never be in this position again? That's the most important part when it comes to an industry such as this. Credit repair is the one business that you never want repeat clients, period. Where does Fair Isaac live again? No, don't drive your Jeep. No, she said she's going to crash her Jeep in the fight at FICO. I'll never forget that. Credit in general isn't a total scam, but why can't companies be responsible to consumers? So this goes back to the conversation that we had earlier in the week. Like I said, earlier in the week, we talked about when Lil Duval got on Instagram and was like, credit is a scam, right? Is credit a scam, or are we to blame for not doing the research possible that's necessary to be successful, right? The system is operating just as designed. It's not a scam. It was never designed for everyone to succeed. In order for the American economy to be considered a success, right, there has to be impoverished people. That's just how that works. And so credit is just another tool that wasn't necessarily used for evil, right? The concept of getting things based off of your reputation and then paying for it later. That's not nothing that Americans invented. That's not nothing new. And that was here well before 1989. The credit scoring system is what is at fault. Is FICO biased? Absolutely. Absolutely. I believe that certain, people are inherently biased. And so when people create programs, I do believe that bias exists in those programs. And there have been multiple conversations surrounding financial literacy about alternative information that could be included to make credit more successful, right? But none of those have went into effect. So unfortunately, this is our life, right? So do we blame the companies for operating as a company and for prioritizing profit and things like that, as all companies do? Or do we blame ourselves for having this system since 1989 and not educating each other on how to be successful at it? Or do we blame ourselves for not passing the right information on to our children and our children's children so they keep perpetuating that cycle of poverty, right? Like, that's what we really got to get down to. We can't keep pointing the fingers at everybody else. We have to point the fingers at ourselves. What are we not doing? The system isn't going to fucking change right now. We don't have enough people who care about the system to change it, right? So what can we do to, at the very least, make this situation livable? And then we can prioritize making a change for the future. Why is my FICO.com score so different from what a mortgage company gets? It's not, you're just looking at the wrong score. So the reason why I like my FICO so much when looking up your FICO scores, because they provide all of the FICO scores. Remember, FICO has base scores and they have something called industry specific scores. Your FICO base score, right, is your ability to pay back any kind of debt. FICO industry-specific scores judge your ability to pay back debt in a specific industry. And so with mortgage scores, that's your FICO 2, your FICO 4, and your FICO 5. If you pull up the My FICO app, it's in the mortgage score section. And those scores should be what you see when you apply for a mortgage company. If credit lived up to its meaning, then credit wouldn't get the rep it has. Of course, it's going to have this rep because not everybody is successful at it. When you have something that people are not good at, right? Let's say credit is a game. If credit is a game, right? Of course, the losers are going to be upset. Do you see what I'm saying? If everybody was winning, there would be no complaints. There is no system in the world where there are no complaints about how it runs, because there are always people who are not going to be good at it. There are always going to be people who do not benefit from it. Credit has this rap because we gave it this rap. We were the ones who put ourselves in these situations to get bad credit. And we continue to do it by not making financial literacy mandatory in all schools across the country, by not teaching our children the proper way to view credit cards instead of using our fear to scare them into not getting credit cards, which are actually very useful when building credit. We are the reason that credit has such a bad reputation. And instead of us actually sitting down and kind of reconciling with that, right, and getting that shit together inside of us, right, we just kind of perpetuate that fear and we kind of keep it going with our kids and our cousins. Hey, girl, don't you get a credit card? You crazy. Don't get a credit card because you remember what happened to TT, right? Instead of talking about how TT's problem was a money management issue, not necessarily the credit card. Credit cards don't get you into debt. You get you into debt. That's how that works. With so many companies, how do you know which one is the right one to use? Oh, this is a really good question. So when it comes to credit repair companies, it's up to you to do your research. The reason that a lot of people fall into these schemes and these scams with these credit repair companies is because, unfortunately, they're desperate. A lot of people, by the time they reach out to a credit repair specialist, they are at their wits' end. For a lot of people, they have tried everything humanly possible to do this themselves. They're feeling overwhelmed, or maybe they're running out of time because they set an unrealistic goal. Like, right, maybe you woke up and was like, I want to buy a house. You go apply for a mortgage, and now you're like, well, shit, I done already told my landlord I'm moving out in 30 days, so I need to be able to buy a house in 30 days. That shit is impossible. Shit is impossible. But because you are so desperate, you are willing to pay or, throw money at or just listen to anybody who's saying anything attractive to you. Even though it like in your right mind, you would know, don't sound right. As soon as somebody say, I can get you that house in 30 days, because you want it so bad, you're going to listen to them. And everything they say is going to start making sense to you. Because again, you done already tricked yourself into believing you don't know what they're talking about. You have no idea what they're talking about. You've tried this credit shit and it didn't work for you. And so now you're giving up and giving the reins to somebody else. That's not how credit repair works. I'm going to just tell y'all. That's not how credit repair works. Credit repair in and of itself is you taking the knowledge you have about credit literacy, right? How a credit score is calculated, what is credit, how to, use it properly to, improve your quality of life. You're taking that information and making changes to your credit report. Credit repair is not just deletions. Sometimes you don't even get deletions, but you can repair your credit by rehabbing the accounts that you have or adding the proper accounts that you have. It's not just about getting stuff removed. I tell people all the time, I hate this. People come to me like, well, I hired somebody and they didn't get nothing taken off, so now I want to hire you. Oh, baby, you don't want to hire me. I'm going to go ahead and be honest with you. You don't want to hire me. Don't hire me. Because I'm not here to get stuff off. I'm here to fix your credit. Because sometimes getting things off is not the answer. Sometimes you can't get things off, unfortunately. So then what? So then you're not building properly. Even if you have derogatory accounts, and this is what a lot of you don't know, even if you have derogatory accounts, if you are doing the proper things to maintain like your credit from this point on, right? If you are consistently low reporting credit utilization, paying all your bills on time, that sort of thing, you would still get points over time. It just takes you longer to kind of get to the finish line or whatever your target score is. But if you were doing the right things, you would see improvement over time. But a lot of you aren't doing the right things. And then because that person didn't get the deletion that you wanted, now you have labeled this business as, oh no, that's a scam. I really think we need to take that word out of our vocabulary, because is it a scam, or are you not pulling your weight as a client? Let's talk about that. Are you consistently communicating? What could you do better, right, to improve your experience? Are you communicating with your specialist? That is extremely important. Like a lot of times, and I'm starting to dissect this person by person. And I tell people all the time, don't come to me with your problems. Please don't come to me telling me about whatever relationship you had with a previous credit specialist, because I don't want to hear it. I am not that person. And if you are coming to me with the baggage from your last relationship, this ain't going to work out. It's not going to work out, because credit repair as a system, right? With credit repair, it requires trust. You are giving someone access to the most intimate details of your financial future, right? Like you're giving somebody all your business. So it relies on trust. And if you don't trust me enough to leave your baggage at the door when you come to me to hire me for services, then I'm not the one for you. I can give you a list of other people who do this service and you can see if one of them will work for you, but I can't. My services depend on that trust. I need to be able to trust you to do the things that I tell you to do. And I need you to trust me that I'm going to do everything that I can to fix these problems for you. It actually doesn't take that long anymore. Please don't say you one of them 30-day people. Please don't. Because I'm going to go ahead and tell y'all this now. Those people who say, oh, I can get results in 30 days. That's a violation of the Credit Repair Organizations Act. You cannot promise people I'm going to get this taken off in 30 days. Number one, whenever you initiate a dispute, the companies and the bureaus have between 30 and 45 days to even respond to you. So and it all depends on how they respond to the letters that you send. And that's what a lot of people don't understand about credit repair too. That response is very important, because it could decide how you're going to move forward in this game. It's like playing chess. So if they got 45 business days, not calendar, business days to respond, why would y'all sit here and fucking allow people to manipulate? But y'all desperate, right? This goes back to you guys are reaching out to these companies because you're desperate. You're reaching out to these companies and you're letting them tell you whatever they want to because you're just you want this so bad and you're not being rational. You're not being rational. Or a lot of you just choose not to educate yourselves on how credit works or how the system works. So you're just hiring people blindly. These people could fucking tell you that the sky is purple and you will believe it. You will believe it because you're so desperate. I truly, with my whole soul, and this is not because I am a credit repair specialist. I am somebody who fixed my own credit. That's how I even got into this. I fixed my own credit and started going through the process and helping people on the side and then becoming a CROA compliant business. Like, I've done this myself. I'm not just speaking from a book. I'm speaking from experience. Credit repair is not a scam. You can fix your credit yourself. If you can fix your credit yourself, then how is it a scam? Clearly, this is a thing. Every scam starts from like a solution. Every scam starts from a solution. I know credit repair is a real thing, but the credit repair companies that you deal with, that's the problem. The people that you're surrounding yourself with, that's the issue. Well, keeping it between 10 and 30 is the goal, if I remember correctly. Oh, hold up. Do you do consultations? So I offer 2 services, full service credit repair for everybody as long as you don't live in Georgia, and I'm not accepting South Carolina clients right now. But that's because I just got a lot from South Carolina. South Carolina is one of those states with really special laws. But I do also offer a service called a credit audit, which is where you and I sit down and go over your entire report. And we talk about what's wrong, what are your options as far as solutions, credit building, all that kind of stuff. And it usually takes about an hour. If you need longer, I'll give you longer, but usually takes about an hour and you get to ask all your questions as well. What about debt consolidation companies? I personally don't like debt consolidation companies. The reason why I don't like debt consolidation companies because a lot of them only pay it, which is fine because for most of you, right, that's the priority. But if you understood anything about how your credit score is calculated, you would know that if you have collections, you always want to try to remove the collection. Just flat out paying a collection is not going to get you any points back. It's not going to improve your credit score, which is what a lot of you are so heavily focused on. A lot of times you'll need to negotiate a pay to delete, and get the agreement situated before you issue that payment. And most debt consolidation companies don't do that for you. Not to mention, in my eyes, debt consolidation companies are extremely predatory because the interest rate that are associated with these loans are ridiculous. And if you had that kind of money, you would have just paid the debt off. So why are you paying damn near double for consolidation when you could have negotiated these settlements and these pay to deletes yourself? A lot of you just kind of trick yourselves into thinking you just can't do it. Why does paying down my credit cards hurt my score? My utilization stays 5% or lower. Then that's not what's hurting your score. Paying down your credit cards, your utilization needs to be as low as possible without touching zero. It's all about when you pay, right? And how much you're paying. So that can't be the thing that's hurting your score. You got to look at the other categories. Remember, payment history, credit utilization, mix of accounts, length or of history, so how long you've been building credit, and inquiry/new accounts. Those are the 5 categories that are used to determine your credit score. So we didn't already determined it's not your utilization, right? So you need to look at these other 4 categories to determine what is costing you points. By fixing it yourself, what exactly do you mean? I mean what I said. You can literally repair your credit yourself. If you understand the concepts behind how these things, like how credit operates, you can write your own letters. You don't even need templates. You would just know what you need to say to them. If you understood, right? I'll give you a very specific example. Let's say you have a credit card. This company is shady as hell, right? And they're reporting a late payment, but you got your monthly statement late that month. The Fair Credit Reporting Act has a section inside called the Fair Credit Billing Act. It only applies to credit cards. It says that it is illegal to report a late payment if the company cannot provide proof that they gave you your monthly statement no less than 21 days before the payment due date. So if you have proof that, no, I didn't get my monthly statement until this date, or I didn't get access to it until this date, and you look at the calendar and it's less than 21 days, you can use that knowledge to get the removal. You see what I'm saying? You could easily just type a letter like, hey, according to the Fair Credit Billing Act, it specifically states that if you don't give me my monthly statement no less than 21 days before the payment due date, then you can't report this payment as late, period. You have to educate yourself on the processes behind credit. How is your credit score calculated? The information that the bureaus get, where does that information come from? How can I check that information myself? Right? Like that's the stuff you need to, that's the questions you need to be asking. Those are the things you need to be looking up. Y'all throw so much money at a lot of these credit repair companies, and that money could have went to you paying the shit off. That money could have went to you negotiating a pay to delete. Y'all are literally spending thousands of dollars with these people, even as a credit repair specialist. And this is no shade to nobody else in y'all prices. Charge what you are worth, honey. I believe it. But y'all are spending thousands of fucking dollars with these people for an issue that you probably could have solved with a couple $100 and some stamps. You get what I'm saying? Like, and this is why it is very important for you guys to learn. So many people just want to throw money at the problem because they just don't have time to be bothered. But y'all got time to be on TikTok. Come on now, priorities, people. Then I'm confused. It showed I dropped solely on making a payment. That's, I don't know, like you can't make a payment on your credit card and that drop your credit score. Your utilization is 30% of your credit score. And the lower your utilization is, the more points you get from that section. So if you're making a payment, then that should increase your points, not take away from them. So you might want to get like another breakdown maybe of your score or something like that, but that can't be what's hurting your score. What if you have letters from attorneys at this point? What can you recommend? So until they take you to court, right? Until you get that summons for you to show up to court, don't let the fact that they are attorneys scare you. That's what a lot of them kind of bank on. Soon as they say something and brothers or something in something attorney's office, y'all get sick, y'all get scared, and y'all instantly just fuck it, I'ma pay. Fuck it, I'ma pay. Don't be scared until you get a summons. And even once you get a summons, don't be afraid. You still have the right to dispute once they start sending you these letters. Your right to dispute did not go away. I didn't even see. Hey, y'all on TikTok. I mean, on YouTube. I keep forgetting I'm on YouTube because I can't post on Facebook, y'all. We'll talk about that at some other time, but I can't post on Facebook for the rest of the day. You can be Walmart lawyers, LOL. I'm disputing. No, for real. Yeah, and it's really easy to get intimidated. I'm going to be honest with y'all. For those of y'all been following me for a while, y'all know that I am in the middle of a case with LVMV. They're suing me for a credit card I honestly just don't recall ever having. Like, I just really don't think that this is my credit card. And so I'm disputing it. And if you feel like you don't owe these people this money, because remember, it's not about what's factual and what ain't. It's about what evidence do you have to support your claims. That's what it boils down to with these disputes. And so if they don't have the proper documentation, then they don't got a case. The worst thing that can happen is you go to court, they prove their case, and you got to pay. Well, shit, if they sued you if they sued you and you never showed up, then shit, like you was going to have to pay the money anyway. Do you see what I'm saying? Don't let the fact that a lawyer's office sent you a letter scare you. Because let me tell y'all, I was in that court. Y'all's going to laugh at me. I was in that court ready to go. I felt like Olivia Pope in that fucking courtroom, y'all. And I'm not a lawyer. I didn't graduate college. Only experience I got fussing with people was fussing with my mama. And so listen, my briefcase back there, I got a little blue briefcase that I use for when I do my loan signings. Boy, I had my briefcase. I was looking all spiffy. You could not fucking tell me I was not Viola Davis in How to Get Away with Murder when the fuck I walked in that courtroom. Just for the judge to be like, start pulling out my notes and my books and everything. And the judge was like, oh, no. We're just going to set the date for trial. Bro, I just knew like I was finna fuck this company up. I had everything ready. But yeah, so like, don't be scared. Don't be scared. Like, I promise it's not as scary as you think it is when you know what you're talking about. Okay, somebody said I'll be Elle Woods today. I'm so serious because listen, I was in that court ready. I ain't gonna lie, I was shaking like shit, but I was ready. And I'm still ready, even though I had to wait a little longer for my court date. I'm still ready. I got all my evidence together, like because I know how the laws work. I really believe, right, that I have a case. And so even if the fuck I don't, you gonna have to make them give me. Listen, they gonna have to take this money out my hand. Period. That's the only way you gonna get it. Whoa. When it goes to collection, the company charges more than what the debt is for. That's actually illegal. It is illegal for a collection company to charge you interest that was not already allotted in the original contract between you and the original creditor. That's in the FCRA. Now, when you go to court and they sue you, right, that's different because the court can apply interest if you don't pay by a certain time. So they'll charge you interest up until you pay. So I know that's a state by state thing. I know the state I live in does it, because at the bottom of my paperwork that I got from the courthouse that I had to turn in, it said it. It said that, yo, so if it come back that you lose, you got to pay this plus the court fees plus interest for every something days that it's not paid. So that's a case by case basis. But if the company themselves is trying to charge you more than what the agreement says, that's a problem. That violates the Fair Credit Reporting Act and the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, which are two different things. The FDCPA outlines what a debt collection company isn't allowed to do to its consumers. Period. They have rules and shit they got to follow. Like, they're not allowed to cuss at y'all on the phone. They're not allowed to harass y'all. They can't threaten y'all with shit that they know they can't do. Like, if they telling you right now, well, I'm outside your house and I'm going to take your car if you don't pay this money, that's a fucking lie. And you can sue for that. Collection companies buy the debt for pennies on the dollar. They do. And so do these people who go into these low-income neighborhoods and buy homes. It don't mean that they're not going to rehab it and flip it for $300,000. It just means that they got a deal. And that has no bearing on what your responsibility is. Now, I don't give a fuck if they paid $1 for a $2 million debt. You still owe $2 million. You see what I'm saying? That has no bearing on how much you owe. And a lot of y'all be playing Russian roulette with this shit. Y'all be like, well, I'm just not going to pay. And that's cute, right? Until, again, they sue you. And a lot of times when people are sued for debt that they've owed for like years, a lot of times you aren't even notified that you were supposed to show up in court. How you find out usually is from your employer informing you that there's a wage garnishment against you, or them sending you something like, oh, by the way, we went to court. Where's my money? Do you want to know why? It's because when you don't keep your contact information up to date with lenders or companies, right? Because you just can't be bothered to do this, right? That means when they do send out your court summons, it's going to go to the address that they have on file that you no longer live at. And if you don't have on active mail forwarding, you will never get that letter. And if you never get that letter, you're never going to show up in court. And if you never show up in court, then they're going to be granted something known as an order of default. An order of default means whatever the plaintiff asks for, the plaintiff is going to get. So you're going to end up having to pay that money. And if you don't make a payment, what's going to happen is that the court has the right to authorize a wage garnishment, meaning every time you get paid, they shit coming off the top. Asset seizure, when they come and take your shit and sell it and use that to pay your debt off. All because you just didn't want to get them people their money, or you didn't want to communicate with these people about the money that they're saying that you owe. It all boils down to you need to know the basics about credit. You need to know how it works, what companies are and are not allowed to do to you. How does this information report? Where do these numbers come from? Where do Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion get their information from? Like, all of these things play a part in financial wellness. And it's funny because I've taken a lot of financial literacy courses over the years, right? Shout out to the Army for making me sit in that fucking 8-hour class, my first free weekend out of basic training, right? However, none of them accurately do credit literacy. I can't think of one class that I took that was dedicated to financial literacy that accurately taught credit literacy now that I know the truth. Most of these classes say don't get credit cards. Most of these classes say if you get a credit card, don't use it. It's for emergencies. Most of these classes try to scare you away from building credit successfully. Do you want to know why? And this is me being honest with y'all. Do you want to know why a lot of these things, and it's not something that these people are maliciously doing, it's just something that's so ingrained in Americans in general, right? The reason why financial literacy is taught this way is because the people who are being taught financial literacy, right, that implies you don't know it. And a lot of you are taking these classes as adults, right, or young adults. And so they're not going to tell you the part that's actually going to get you out of poverty. They're going to tell you enough to keep your head above the water, but not really enough for you to be successful, right? Because that's their secret. That's their secret. But you don't tell everybody everything, right? It's kind of what it boils down to. Because other people, that shit they learn as kids. That shit their parents tell them. That shit their parents get them to understand while their parents are building their credit while they're still in high school. That's why they're able to graduate with 700 plus credit scores, because these conversations that they're having at home, they don't go to school to learn shit like this. They teach this at home. I'm over 670 with TransUnion and Equifax, but Experian is 594. What the fuck? That's because every company does not have to report to every credit bureau. So it could be information that's reporting to one is not reporting to the other two. And that's why that score is so drastic. Or a derogatory account that you have is only reporting to this one and not the other two. And that's why these scores didn't drop, but this one did. Does being added as an authorized user help, and how? Yes, being added as an authorized user, especially for those of you with children who are building credit for your kids. Being an authorized user is a very useful tool, right? Being an authorized user gives you the history of the cardholder. It's only useful if the information is positive. And what I mean by that is if you are a parent or if you are somebody who is adding somebody on as an authorized user, then you need to make sure that your account has 100% on-time payment history, consistently low reporting credit utilization. Those things are very important because if you add them to your credit card and you late, you running the bag up and the card's maxed out, that's not helping them. That's going to hurt them. Now, on that same token, when it comes to don't you run your Jeep into Experian. She is determined. Listen, I'm not going to jail with you. I want plausible deniability. Just send me your cash app so I can bail you out afterwards. No, but seriously, like when it comes to see, this is why I'll be answering comments in the middle of questions because I forgot the fuck I was saying. That's that ADHD. I genuinely can't remember what I was saying. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. That's my ADHD. Who is paying attention? I am. Is it beneficial to take out a loan when you have a low credit score? What are you taking a loan out for? Yeah, I mean, yeah, you need to have a mix of accounts when it comes to building credit, right? But what are you taking the loan out for? What are you going to do with that money? It's only beneficial to you if you're going to use it for something. That's what determines the how beneficial an account is. Is it going to benefit you now and what you got going on now? I guess it's a really good time to plug. Listen, authorized users. All right, I'm gonna go back to that. Tonight I'm doing a credit building workshop. It actually starts in an hour, so I'm gonna get off of here around like 7:45 p.m. But the webinar starts at 8. There's a link in my TikTok bio and in my Instagram bio for you guys to register. It's a Zoom. You need to get registered for this class. Tonight, we're going to talk about what credit is, how is your credit score calculated, how to read a credit report. We're going to talk about credit building, and we go into detail. I normally don't talk about the tiers because I don't want you guys to focus on that, but we're going to be breaking down the tiers, and I even have specific credit cards for each tier that you guys should apply for. I'm going to be answering questions like live during the webinar. There's an ebook that you guys get that also has all the tiers of cards and stuff in it for you guys to keep with you from the live. But like, there's a lot of information I'm going to be giving out tonight, and I really, really, really want you guys to get it. Last night we did third-party reporting agencies, and they even got an ebook. And I thought, man, listen, I've been cranking these ebooks out. I literally got the idea probably like Monday or Tuesday to do an ebook for each webinar so that you guys can kind of take some of the slides with you. The webinars is free. The last set of webinars we paid because I was doing a donation to the 22 a Day Foundation. However, the webinar tonight and the one on the 16th is completely free. You literally just got to register and actually show up. That's it. That's the only requirement. Now, back to the authorized user. When you're an authorized user, this is what I was saying. Thank you, Christina. Thank you, OG. When it comes to an authorized users, right, you can build a history with a foundation of you being an authorized user. But eventually, the party who is the authorized user is still going to have to open up accounts in their name, right? Because when you are an authorized user, your financial responsibility to that account is literally zero. If something happens to the account owner and the account doesn't get paid, yeah, you get the negative marks on your credit, but I mean, you don't got to pay that shit. They're not going to sue you for it. You see what I'm saying? Because you don't have a financial obligation to that account, which is cute for you, but for businesses, that's not telling them whether or not you pay your bills, because technically that's not your bill. So if you are an authorized user, or if you want your child or somebody to be an authorized user, that's fine. But once your kid turns 18, they need to start looking at opening their own accounts. Or once that person get on their feet, they need to look at opening their own accounts. Otherwise, they're only going to be able to get so far with authorized user accounts. A friend of mine just got a small bonus from work, and she wants to know, should she pay down her small cards first or spread the wealth across all debt? I don't want to steer her wrong. I always tell people, pay down the credit cards with the highest interest rates first. And the reason why is because the cards with the highest interest rate take the longest to pay off, especially if you're only making minimum payments. Because you make a minimum payments and it's going to charge you interest, and that interest is so fucking high, it's more than the minimum payment that you just made. So tell her to put all of her credit cards in order from interest rate. That's how I do it. And then you'll just pay them off one by one like that. I tried a Google letter to get a late payment removed. And it didn't work. Should I send another? Keep asking until they tell you no. You stop fucking asking me. I had a Capital One credit card. I had been a client with Capital One for a really long time, probably like 3 or 4 years at this point. And I had one missed payment across 2 credit cards for the same month and everything because I switched jobs. And it took 3 letters to them before they finally was like, all right, fuck, yeah, we'll erase your fucking late payments and update it for you. Most companies only do it once. So once you get it done that one time, they're not going to do it again. So please make sure you are never late again. But yeah, you might got to ask them more than one time. But you also have to come to the understanding that when it comes to things like late payment, that is at the discretion of the data furnisher. So the party who is putting out the information. So if they tell you no, and that's the final answer, it's no. And that's the final answer when it comes to your credit. So then instead, a lot of y'all just give up at that point. But if you can't get the late payment removed, all right, fuck it. I can't take it off. What can I do to distract from that late payment? Oh, I know. I can pay all my shit on time. How about that? I can pay my bills from now on time. It's fine. Like, we have a history. It is not impossible for you to have good credit with late payments on your credit. It is not impossible for you to have good credit with a charged off account on your credit. It's not impossible. Is it harder? Absolutely. But you learned your lesson, and it's no point in beating yourself up over something you can't change. You got to change how you're looking at this stuff. A lot of y'all be like, if I can't get it off, I'm just going, or y'all do the credit sweeps. Oh my God. Now, this is where the scammy part of credit repair comes in. So I don't know if any of you have ever heard of this, but hold up. Does paying off an installment loan early actually hurt your score? That's a good question. So it used to hurt a lot more than your score. Like, companies used to make you pay prepayment penalties and things like that for paying loans off early, because they actually lose money when you pay your loans off early, right? Because they don't get as much money in interest anymore, because the interest, yes, the webinar is completely free. The interest is assessed by like the time, right? So if you pay it off early, they kind of lose out on cash. So they used to charge you prepayment penalties and shit. So that's one thing that you got to look for when you're going to pay off a loan early. Another thing is, and this is not necessarily paying it off early, but whenever you pay off a loan or close a credit card, the account is then closed. Whenever you close an account or add a new account to your credit profile, your score is going to drop. It's temporary, but it's going to happen. And the reason why is because now your consumer report or your profile, your credit profile, has to adjust. This account is no longer going to report every month as an open account. It has a different kind of weight to it now. Now it's just reporting as history. It's not reporting as an open, actively reporting account. And so that is why you lose points. Now, as long as you're doing everything you're supposed to do, right? Paying all your bills on time, low credit utilization, blah, 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 they'll go ahead and give you some of those points back over time. You'll be able to cover those points, but paying off a loan period will lower your score. I typically tell people it's all about timing. So if you are in the home buying process, within 6 months of buying your house, you shouldn't be paying shit off. Nothing. Unless you are looking to like lower your debt to income ratio. That's usually kind of like the only time I would authorize doing that. But paying your loans off early actually drops your score, and it can hurt your chances if you are in, the home buying process, or you're going to go buy a car this month or something like that. Can someone let me know if my question was answered? I had to leave out. I'm not sure. I can't even remember what your question is, sweetheart. Oh, yes, I did answer your question. You was the one about taking out a loan. I did answer your question. Yes, this is on YouTube. Oh, shit. Speaking of YouTube, I haven't been checking the comments. I'm so sorry. Oh, hey, Sandy. I'm confused why my paid off mortgage no longer exists on any of my reports. I sold in 2017. Chase blames the bureaus and the bureaus blame Chase. Honestly, it could be a miscommunication. What you can do is you can get a copy of your payment history and provide that to the credit bureaus. Like, hey, this account fell off my credit, but this is all of the payment history associated with my account. Can you please investigate and find out why this isn't reporting and put this shit back on my credit, please? What they say on Monsters Inc., put that shit where it came from us or help me. I know they don't cuss because it's a Disney movie, but yeah, put that shit back on there. I need them fucking points. Like that payment history is extremely valuable, especially if that shit is all on time payment history. Does portfolio recovery settle? Yes, they do. So portfolio recovery actually does something known as a pay to delete, which means it's the same thing as a settlement. You're going to give them some money, right? It's just that in exchange for the money that you owe them or a portion of the money that you owe them, they will stop reporting to the credit bureaus. Paid off letter. Okay, payment history. I will. Yeah, do the payment history because remember, they still report payment history too. So you can show like, listen, I've never had any issues. And then you can even attach the, like if you have a letter or something from the company, any kind of correspondence from the company where they're saying that they reported the stuff and they're not sure why it's not reporting, you can attach all that together and send it to the bureaus. Can you buy a car and still qualify for a home loan within 6 months? Yes, but here's the thing. You better have a damn good credit score and a damn good credit profile. Because remember, whenever you add a new account to your profile, your score is going to drop. And now it also changes the age of your credit or the average age of your credit because you have introduced a new line of credit to your credit profile. So I would highly not recommend it. I would say, girl, buy your house first. And then the day after you close, go to the fucking car dealership. And the reason why is because once that house hits your credit, ciao, girl, you ain't able to get shit right away, depending on what your score is. But also remember that it's temporary. That drop in your score from paying off loans and stuff like that is temporary. Or adding new accounts, it's temporary. Fuck buying a house. I'm buying an RV. Do you know I was just talking to my husband about that? I actually really was just talking to my husband about that. I heard a tenant can do the same thing with adding rental payment history. Yes, y'all know I'm real big on reporting your rent. Because, I mean, honestly, all it can be is a benefit at this point. But what you can do is, even if you, so for those of you who are in college and you live in the dorms, for those of you who live in the barracks and you're in the military, if you live with your parents, all you got to do is draft up a copy of a lease and sign it. Or if you live in the military or in the dorms, you guys can submit your receipt from paying for your tuition. Or for those of you in the military, your BAH, if you print out a copy of your LES, it shows where they pretty much, you live in a barracks, or all the money that you would get to live out in town actually goes towards the barracks. So you could submit that information and they report it every month as on-time payment history to your credit report. And that helps you build your score. Would you suggest paying off a car that has an $800 car payment before considering a home loan? I can't make that consideration. So me personally, my priorities might be different from yours. So for me, I'm gonna be like, I could probably get a nicer home, right? If I pay this car off because my debt to income ratio, will kind of fix itself. $800 a month, especially me on a fixed income, $800 a month is a lot of money. So for me, because I know my financial situation, I know that it made more sense to pay off my car loan before considering a home loan, because then if I pay my car off, I'll have more money to work with. And then I could probably get what I really want instead of having to settle because I don't have enough money available to me to qualify for the house that I actually want. Right? But you might have a different set of priorities, or maybe your score and your income is enough that way you don't have to consider things like that. Decisions like that is one that you have to make in and of yourself. So you need to look at what your debt to income ratio is and what you want out of a home, right? So if I know I want a $400,000 home, but this motherfucking car loan is eating up a lot of my income, right? I know I need to pay that off in order to get the house that I want. But if that's not an issue for you, then maybe you could get the house and keep car loan. So that's one of those questions that you kind of have to ask yourself. I wear my Apple Watch the same way. Oh my God, yes. And my family think I'm fucking crazy. So I wear my Apple Watch on the inside. I don't even know how I started doing that or why I started. It's just so comfortable to me. It's just so comfortable to me to wear it like this. And yeah, my family think I'm crazy too. Oh, it's a military thing for real? Yeah, because I used to wear my watches like this in the military. I remember in basic training, they made everybody buy a watch. And we all wore them like this. I never stopped to think about that. Marines. It's a lot of stuff that I still do because of the military. And I've been out, oh my God, it'll be 3 years soon, right? Yep, it'll be 3 years in September that I've been retired. I should throw a party. Hey, Jelly Girl. I could have swore I made you a moderator. Or this not your regular, did you change your TikTok name? Or is this a backup page? I could have swore, I'm gonna follow you this one. I could have swore she had a different page. I'll come visit you in my RV, or I'll come visit you in mine. Listen, I'm gonna get me an RV. I just gotta convince my husband. This my backup page. Okay. I was like, this ain't your usual name. Look, I'm telling y'all, I'll be knowing y'all as soon as y'all pop in. Where's the party? I'll be there. I don't know. I got a lot. Listen, I have a lot going on in the next year. So I turned 30 in March. Shout out to me. Whoop, whoop. I turned 30 in March. And then me and my husband's anniversary is in October, but it's a big anniversary for us. And so we're talking about renewing our vows and stuff. So I'm talking about going out the country, and I'm trying to convince this man to fucking buy an RV. I'm doing too much. Come to the DMV again. Girl, I'm always in the DMV. Matter of fact, I gotta drive up to Baltimore. What's that, next week? When I'm cheering, I normally hear them screaming, and then you get the customer on that Alexa. They father home. My husband home. They're not gonna do that now because he playing the game. You can stay at my Airbnb. Child, stay with my mama. Shout out to mamas because it's free and she got food. How long have you been married? Whew, this time, sight. No, for real. It'll be 8 years. So 7 is the number of completion for me. So, I said I didn't want to do the vow renewal before the 7 years were complete. And so now that the first 7 years was complete, right now, that 8th year, I really feel like it's a big step for us. Your freestyle is fire. Girl, I would not let you rent to me for free. Just say TikTok bought it for you. No, for real. Come home and be like, look what I got off TikTok. What an RV. Your freestyle is fire. Thank you. You know what? Oh, I forgot to do one today too. That's how I ended up posting one. I had told somebody on a different live that I would do one every Friday, just, for fun. It was like us challenging each other because somebody I know do spoken word and poetry and stuff. But I was supposed to post another one today. I'll do it probably tomorrow. How long have you been teaching the credit game? I've been teaching for about 18 months now. Yeah. You always have awesome information. Oh, thank you. You were married to a mayo monster. We're not counting that. This is your first marriage. I tell people all the time, y'all gonna laugh, but I tell people all the time my first marriage was just me seeing if I even liked men. We need some merch. You know what's crazy? I used to sell merch. I actually did. Shout out to y'all who've been following me for a while. I don't know if anybody is still around from that era really, but I used to have t-shirts because my motto is credit rules everything around me. That's the FRET framework that I do. So it's credit rules everything around me. Cream check your credit and pay your fucking bills, y'all. So I used to have the t-shirts and sweatshirts and coffee mugs and stuff like that and stickers. I don't know. I don't know why I stopped doing it. I do own a t-shirt company, but I actually shut it down last December. This TikTok stuff. It's already in the works, Jelly. Listen, I done already got cussed out. It's already in the works. Even though I knew better, it's just so expensive filing trademarks, man. And then you gotta pay for every little code thing. Oh, it's so expensive. But trust me, it's in the works. But yeah, I actually shut the t-shirt company down. But y'all know what? I've been getting that itch. Shout out to T. I don't know if she's still in here, but she's been trying to get me to pull out that damn embroidery machine for a while. So I'll probably do it. Oh, I have 3 websites to finish building and some copywriting to do. Love you lots. Oh, you're so welcome. It is, and it's ridiculous, but worth it. No, for real. It really, that peace of mind, knowing somebody can't just come along and take something I worked so hard for. Yeah. Y'all want my very first trademark, I did it to be petty. And then I crowdfunded the money to be petty because everybody wanted me to be petty too. I swear, I love my friends. What embroidery machine do you have? It's called the Brother P1000 or something like that. At the height of the pandemic, it was the one everybody on TikTok had. Are you from Maryland? No, I'm from Baltimore. That's a Baltimore joke. Yes, I'm from Maryland. You better just love your friends. I do just love my friends. My friends are amazing. But yeah, I swear I like talking to y'all. So I'm really excited for tonight's live. I really wanted to, y'all know we go live every Friday so that I can ask so that I can answer you guys' questions. But I really wanted to address the thing. Only people from the DMV get that joke. Yeah, you're right. Like a true Baltimorean. No, for real. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry. The inside joke in the DMV is that Baltimore is not a part of Maryland or a part of the DMV at all, really. So usually when people say from the DMV, they from like DC or like, you know, like Upper Marlboro or Waldorf or something like that. What part of the DMV? What part of the DMV you from? Or like PG County or Northern Virginia? No, for real. For real. They famous for that. I knew I was right. I'm dead. Listen, I lived in Rockville for a year. Really, it's nice out there. Damn, you got money. We need to get together so you can teach me how to use my embroidery machine. Hell no, we need to get with T because I don't know how to use my shit neither. Y'all know what made me put my Fort Washington. I know what that is. Y'all know what made me put my embroidery machine up? I broke the needle the first day I fucking got it. I broke 2 needles, bro. I was over it. They got money. For real, Fort Washington? Yeah. Let me tell y'all, when I'm finally ready to grow up and buy a house, I thought the Department of Motor Vehicles was where you was from. I'm screaming. Everybody kept saying that I was clueless. Moved from New York and just went there. Oh, you from Florida? I used to live in Pensacola for a while. I at least embroidered my name. Hell no. If I showed you some of the stuff I embroidered, you're going to be like, what the? Like, I remember I sold one of my t-shirts closed because I forgot to separate it when I put it in the little thing. So that was fun. Man, I did a lot of shit with that damn embroidery machine. My Cricut got my heart, though. I got 2 Cricut machines. I got 2 Cricuts, 2 easy presses, a clamshell, a sublimation printer that's been in the box since I bought it. My first MOS school was in Pensacola. Mine too. Oh my God. What was your MOS? I was a 35 Sierra, and then I went to 35 Quebec school. If any of y'all in the Navy, it was CTR and CTN school. Silhouette is the bomb. Yeah, Silhouette the bomb, but Cricut had a deal on Amazon. That's how I got with the Cricut. I ain't even gonna hold you. It had nothing to do with like comparing the software. Fuck no. Amazon had the deal on Cricut. That's how I got my first one. TCAS Tech 6469. Whew. Let me tell you, I don't miss Pensacola. I tell you that. I have a Cricut and Silhouette, easy presses, and clamshell as well. Y'all know how to get me relaxed right before the webinar. I gave y'all time to register. Did everybody register for the webinar? Because once you register, that's when you get the link to the actual webinar. I can't just post it and send it to y'all, especially because I'm blocked on Facebook right now for the next 24 hours. So I can't go on there and post a link for y'all to join. So you have to register for tonight's webinar if you're going to show up. It's 100% free. And you just register and it sends you the link. Why don't you miss Pensacola? They not really the most black friendly city. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be real honest with you. I couldn't really go nowhere by myself. That's not no way to live. What webinar? I just got on the live. So tonight, this summer I started a credit literacy series called The Class About Nothing. And each webinar teaches you something. And so I'm redoing a webinar that I did last week that everybody asked about. So I'm doing it again. It's a credit building webinar. It was initially marketed towards college graduates and high school graduates, but it's open for everybody. Anybody can join. We're going over everything from the basics. We're going to start with what is credit, how to read a credit report. I'm dead. I read that comment. How to read a credit report. We're going to talk about credit building, the different tiers in credit cards. We're going to talk about what else is on there? We talk about a lot of stuff, actually. It's a lot. So this class is called Congratulations. Now what? The class yesterday was Snitches Get Stitches. We talked about how the third-party reporting agencies actually give all the information to Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. They tell on you. That's where they get all their information from. So we went over who they all are. I put together a really cool ebook with all the slides in it for everybody. And then I also dropped the list straight from this Consumer Financial Protection Bureau of all of the third-party reporting agencies. And so That's actually available on my website for free. If you go to my shop, the CFPB list is there for free because I got it for free. I'm not going to charge y'all for it. So I did put that list in there for you guys. You don't have access to the ebook I gave out yesterday. But yeah, so today you guys are going to get an ebook as well with some information about credit cards specifically, because that's probably the most questions that I get when we have this class. And so in the ebook, it breaks down the different tiers of credit cards and gives you examples for each one. So like Discover It, all that stuff. What you do or say on Facebook. You fuss somebody out on Facebook too. Don't answer that. What you do to get banana? Listen, Zuckerberg told me he tired of my shit. Like, I'm gonna be real with y'all. Like, I just play too much. I mean, I just play too much. Y'all wanna know my motto? We can get to know each other a little bit better. But my motto is when they go low, I'm going to hell, because they should have just left me alone. I was just minding my business. So we went to hell, and now I'm stuck there because I can't post. So, and you want to know something crazy? Zuckerberg was so childish because I know my mouth. So I have 2 Facebook pages. I don't even post on my other Facebook page. Both my pages got blocked at the same time. So now I can't post as the money plug either. So, that's where we at. Will you do a replay on the one for yesterday? So technically yesterday was the replay, but what I am doing is at the end of every month, I'm going to upload the webinars that we did for that month. So I have the recordings because I forgot to record the first one, or I don't know what I did. I think it was a corrupt. But I'm going to take the recordings and I'm going to upload them onto YouTube for you guys. I play too much. If y'all want me to be honest with you, I don't know what to say out of my mouth. Oh, side note. So I think I'm going to restart. So if you've been following me for a while, I have a playlist on my page, and I used to do a series where y'all would tag me in credit videos that just sounded too good to be true, and then I would talk about them. Well, I stopped doing them because one of the specialists that I did told me that I was bullying them, and I felt really bad, right? Because I wasn't doing it to be a bully. I was doing it because at some point, we have to start holding people accountable for the content that they're creating, right? And not even just that, these people have credit repair companies, and people who are doing credit repair services and knowingly putting out inaccurate or misleading information. I feel like it is our responsibilities as the people who are consuming that content to call them out on it. And so I would make a video and be like, I'd be like, hey everybody, it's Markia, aka the Chris Hansen of credit repair, right? And I would just like bust these people. So I stopped doing it because they told me I was bullying, but I'm about to start doing it again. It's just that this time I'm not going to show their face. I'm just going to talk about the things that they say. You might see their username up there just so y'all know who to stay away from, but I'm going to try my best not to show their face, so that they don't feel like I'm picking on them, because it's not the them that I'm picking on, it's the things that they're doing. But whatever. I really feel like it's time to start this back up again because people started tagging me in videos again. So I think it's time to start that series back up again. So that's going to be coming back too. So if y'all see credit repair videos or whatever, and you guys just don't know if it's true or false, tag me. I'll tell you what the truth is. The cool thing about me is I don't give a shit. Ha! Can you get my NFCU Navy Federal Ministry? No, I'm not giving you my membership number. You crazy? Whew. Y'all better stop trying to commit fraud to get these accounts. Navy Federal got social media too. They got whole Facebook groups for people who be giving away their little or selling their little account numbers to get other people access to Navy Federal. I thought that shit was so crazy when I saw it. Oh, okay. So I guess we can talk about that. I'm gonna do another like 10 minutes with y'all. But the initial y'all know we do this every Friday. Every Friday we go live, but I really wanted to talk about like, is credit repair a scam? And we talked about that when we first got on here, but I really want to tell you guys how to spot scammy credit repair companies, right? Like, how do you know if a credit repair company is legit or not? First things first, right? Go to their website. A website can tell you a lot about a business. Y'all be trying to like save people. Y'all be like, oh, maybe they didn't have a lot of money. Maybe they didn't. I don't give a goddamn. If you launching a business, you should have waited until you had enough money. Your website needs to be on point. It can't look like a child made it. That's like one of the biggest red flags. No, for real. Intentionally misleading folks and then complaining about getting bullied. Child. But anyway, You also want to look, they need to have, like, whenever you have a website or whenever you have a business, it's certain things that your website has to have: a privacy policy, refund policy, shipping policy if you ship items, and things like that, right? So you want to make sure that the business has those things placed on their website that offers more legitimacy, I guess you could say, as to whether or not this is a registered business. You could also do some research. What state are they registered in? Can you find them on the state registry as far as businesses go? Like, how does that work? You can also just like, now what I will say is this. So even though I am a board certified credit repair specialist, I'm a board certified credit score consultant. I'm certified in the FDCPA as well as the FCRAs. I have all these certifications. Those are not required. Those are not required by any state or any federal government. Those are just certifications that I myself sought out so that I could test my knowledge and make sure that this is some shit that I actually know what I'm talking about, right? Now, even though it's not a requirement to become a credit repair specialist, you can make that a requirement for somebody that you would like to hire. You need to know that these people know what they're talking about and not just repeating the information that they hear elsewhere, right? You need somebody who actually understands it to the point where they can break it down to you because you don't fucking get it, right? If they truly understood the content, they would be able to break it down and explain it to you. You also want to make sure that when you have your meeting with them, that you ask whatever questions you have and go with your gut. If your gut is telling you do not hire this person, don't do it. Don't do it, because you will always regret it. You will always regret it. Why not offer a way to get membership to Navy Federal Credit Union for your customers? A lot of people offer it because okay, so let me explain something to you. Navy Federal has a very strict criteria for who is and is not allowed to be a client or a customer. And so I am not going to jeopardize my accounts to give access to this exclusive credit union to people who have not, I hate to say it, but have not earned the right to be a member of Navy Federal. Y'all can call me a narc. You can call me what you want, but you know what you won't call me? You won't call me caught up. A lot of people do a lot of things. A lot of people charge millions of dollars for the information that I give away for free. I literally could put together a credit repair course and I literally could have made billions of dollars by now by the amount of people who just are interested in taking the course. How many times have I told y'all I'm working on the course, when in reality, I just don't want to make people pay for it. Right? A lot of people do a lot of things that does not make it right. That's just like people who sell CPNs. Let's talk about that for a second. So people who sell CPNs in and of itself, right, are not illegal. But the people on Instagram who are selling CPNs, right, that is where that's illegal. You cannot buy a CPN just because you fucked your credit up. The Social Security Administration is very strict on who really qualifies for CPNs. You have to meet a very stringent criteria. And so just because other people are selling CPNs don't mean I should, right? No one wants to join the military and sacrifice their life. Then you don't want access to that credit union. I don't know why y'all be walking around thinking Navy Federal Credit Union is the only credit union in the world that offers any kind of perks. There are regular credit unions that you can join. It's just that Navy Federal sounds so attractive because of its exclusivity. That is why everybody want Navy Federal so bad, because it sounds exclusive, right? You sound like one of a kind, right? You walk around like, I shop at Target and I got a Navy Federal card. What's up? Right? It makes you feel some kind of way. But what you don't know is that I'm pretty sure you have local credit unions. For example, for those of you who live in Maryland, there's MEQ and CQ, John Hopkins Credit Union, Tower Federal, Penn Fed. There are credit unions everywhere. You just got to find one that you already qualify for. MCU, City Workers for New York. Yep. There's credit unions everywhere. You just got to find one that you already qualify for instead of committing fraud to join one. And I'm going to go ahead and tell you this now. For every credit repair specialist out there who is selling Navy Federal Credit Union access numbers, right? You do know that that's a crime, right? Because if a credit repair specialist advises a client, right, to commit fraud during the act of repairing their credit. So if they're advising you on what to say to Navy Federal or how to say certain things to Navy Federal so that you qualify for an account that you know you don't qualify for, that is considered fraud, and that also violates the Credit Repair Organizations Act. Max credit for folks in Alabama. The library has a list of credit unions in your state. Plenty, and some are way better than Navy Federal. Not for real. How is a credit union different from a bank? Like, you want me to be honest with you? I genuinely don't fucking know. I mean, outside of the fact that like they're more people oriented, like they're more people, like they're for the people in the communities that they serve. Whereas banks don't give a fuck. Wells Fargo has proven time and time again they don't give a fuck. Navy Federal has done nothing but treat me with kindness and love and respect. And so they gets all my praise. I've just always had better experiences with credit unions than I ever have with big banks. Always. I get better interest rates. I just get better deals. I want a low interest loan and a high limit card. Okay, so then put the work in to get one. Or find a lender who's willing to give you these things with the credit score that you had. Banks need you and your money. They don't have their own money. You're correct. That's the difference. They're more flexible for the people. A credit union is more private. Okay. Look, I'm learning some new shit. I genuinely don't know what the exact answer is for why credit unions or how credit unions are different than banks. I just know that I've always loved my experience with credit unions more than I have regular banks. And I have regular bank accounts. I have the Bank of America, the Chase, I've had Wells Fargo, USAA, stuff like that. But I love credit unions. Ooh, I can get y'all another 5 to 10 minutes. I mean, technically, all my slides are done, so I'm not in a rush. But remember, if y'all have not registered for tonight's webinar, you have about 15 minutes to do so. The link is in my Instagram and my TikTok bio. It'll take you right to the page. You click on the title, and that'll allow you to register for the webinar. That's the only way you're going to be able to catch it because it's a Zoom link. I have a collection showing back up. Help. So if you have a collection and you're looking to get it off, you got some options, right? Your first option, if you're willing to pay, you could always send them something known as a pay to delete letter. Don't call it that. What you're going to do is you're going to reach out to the company and you're going to say, hey, I recently pulled a copy of my credit and I'm noticing that you all are reporting a debt that you're saying that I owe. I'm not accepting ownership of this debt. However, I do know that I need to get this taken off as soon as possible. So in exchange for either all of or a portion of the money that you're saying I owe you, will you stop reporting to the credit bureaus? If you agree to these terms, please respond back in a letter saying that you agree to these terms and letting me know where I can render my payment of X amount of dollars. And then they'll write you back saying yes or no. Now, if they deny your request for a pay for delete or y'all can't come up with an amount, then you can do a debt validation. Force them to prove that the debt is actually owed. That's the biggest thing. Force them to prove that the debt is actually owed. And then if they can't do that, it has to come off. If they do prove that the debt is owed and they're not willing to do a pay to delete, then and only then do I suggest, fuck it, just pay these people. Banks are for-profit institutions and credit unions are non-for-profit institutions. I did not know that. Can you repair my credit for free? I cannot. I already do a lot of shit for free. I can't add that on top of it. You are so welcome. What other questions y'all got for me? I got another 10 minutes. Listen, this is my second cup of espresso today. That's how I know I'm tired. For no reason. No reason. A lot of reasons, but. How do you remove hard inquiries over the phone? So I never suggest doing this over the phone because when you do it over the phone, there's way too many. Yeah, you can repost. So if I don't say repost the Zoom link, because what can happen is that when they log in as you. I learned that the hard way when I had 20 Jermaine Davises in my Zoom. But you can post the link to the page where they register for it. So if you click that's why I kept posting my website link. So it's www.themoneyplug.co/events with an S. I never suggest removing inquiries over the phone because there's too many variables. Because if that person is having a really shitty day, then they could easily be like, girl, fuck you, I'm not deleting these inquiries. I always send a letter. When I send my letter plays off of the law of permissible purpose, right? The law of permissible purpose states that a company has to have your expressed or written consent to pull a copy of your credit report. And so you either reach out to the credit bureaus or you can reach out to the company specifically and you say, hey, I recently pulled a copy of my credit and I'm noticing that you all are reporting an inquiry into my credit. Could you please provide me a copy of the consent or the authorization that you received from me that gave you the right to report this inquiry? If you cannot provide this evidence, please immediately remove the inquiry and please cease reporting this inquiry to the credit bureaus. That's what you'll say. That's what you'll say. And then they'll either provide the evidence, which will substantiate their claim that they had permission to pull your credit, or they'll remove it. Can you tell me how you have so much experience with credit? How do I know that you are qualified? I have no problem showing you my certifications. I actually think my FedEx folder is downstairs. I have a list of, I have a bunch of certifications from exams that I've taken. I mean, shit, I have almost 200,000 followers on TikTok. So clear, and it's all of my content is credit related with like the exception of like a couple of videos. So, I mean, clearly I know what I'm talking about. But at the end of the day, my job, and I'm going to say this to you, to all of you who have appointments scheduled with me, my job is not to convince you to sign up for services with me. By the time you come to me or by the time you reach out to me, you need to already be ready for services. I am not about to sit on an appointment for 60 minutes and try to convince you to choose me as your credit repair specialist. I don't want people with trust issues. I don't need people who need to be convinced. That's not my job. My job is to repair your credit. So either come to me ready to get the job done and willing to do whatever it takes to get the job done within, reason, right? Or don't come to me and I can give you a list of credit repair specialists who I believe would be a better fit for you. Can I hire you to repair my credit? You sure can. Espresso and brandy. Oh, I don't do brandy. Let me tell you one thing about me. I don't drink. If you ever invite me out, I promise I'm gonna get one drink and I'm gonna hold on to that drink all night, unless I'm with my best friend. Because then I'll get a drink and I'll give it to him, and then he'll drink it, and then I'll just get another one and I'll just keep feeding it to him. like that's literally what I do. A collect I paid off and they said they will pay to delete is now reporting as satisfied in full. If they agree to do a pay to delete, and this is one of the reasons why I tell you guys to get these things in letters, right? If you agree to do pay to delete, if they agree to a pay to delete, then you should have a letter where they agree to remove the item from reporting. And so you can take that and proof of your payment, which shows that you fulfilled your obligation, and you can submit that to the credit bureaus and request a deletion. Do you have these letters? Yes. So if you are fixing your credit yourself and you just want the letters so that you can send them yourself, they're available in my shop. The link in my bio takes you to my website, and you would just have to go up to the menu button and select shop or online store. Excuse me. If you're active on Facebook, I also have some free templates in my Facebook group files. Not all of them, but just a couple of them. But I won't be able to add you to the Facebook group until tomorrow because I'm blocked on Facebook for 24 hours. Do you work with people who only have student loans on their credit report? So if you need, I'm going to be honest with you, if only your student loans is the issue, you don't need credit repair. Your biggest thing is that you're going to have to try to rehab your student loans, because student loans are a little bit different from regular debt, not a little bit, a lot different from regular debt, especially if they're federal student loans. Now, if they're private student loans, that's a different conversation, but federal student loans just operate under different rules, and it'll be far easier for you to rehab the account than to remove it. And so in order to rehabilitate or to fix or repair your account, your first step is always going to be to reach out to your loan servicer to see what they can do for you, what programs they offer you, and everything like that. Then if that don't work, then I would say we could have a conversation. But again, student loan debt plays by different rules. And so, I mean, I don't make guarantees anyway, but it's really up in the air when it comes to student loans. I don't have that. What do I do? Unfortunately, if you don't have evidence that they agreed to a pay to delete, you literally have nothing, because it's not about the truth. It's about what you can prove in court. So unfortunately, the only thing you're going to be able to do is maybe dispute it and hope it comes off. That's literally your only option if you don't have the proof that they agreed to the pay to delete. Would you recommend getting a personal loan with a low interest to pay down a credit card debt? I'm so glad that you added that caveat, because that is always my caveat. Only get a personal loan to pay off a credit card if the interest is lower than the credit card you are trying to pay off, because otherwise it won't make any sense. You're just kind of adding on to your problems. The interest rate is always key when you're getting a loan to pay off a credit card. Because if the interest rate for the loan is higher than what it was for the credit card, you could have just paid the damn credit card off. How long do the bureaus have to respond to a dispute? Between 30 and 45 business days. I tell people 45 business days if you're going to count from the day it was sent, simply because like during COVID, they had 45 business days, and everybody's arguing about whether or not that was rescinded, but it's just best to give them that 45-day business day breathing room, just in case. Because obviously they have to receive it and then process it and then investigate and then respond. What's your feedback on all the student loan forgiveness topic? A lot of people don't understand that when your student loans are forgiven, it drops your credit. For most of you, your student loans are the oldest account that you have on your credit report. And so, and then when they're closed, you haven't been building properly. A lot of you don't even have credit for real outside of your student loans. And so that's going to create an issue once this account closes, because your score is going to drop, and then you have no other accounts that's going to be able to provide some kind of history to your report. So when the student loans are forgiven, right, your credit's going to tank. That's why they're not. That's one of the reasons why they're not going to do that, right? So I always use the analogy that imagine you live in the floodplains, right? Imagine you live in the floodplains and your house is up on stilts. Your student loan is your first pole, that main pole that's up under the house. Now, over the years, you've added other poles under your home, right? And that one in the middle, is getting beat up by the water. Time is kind of eroding at the pole because you are making the payments. Eventually, that pole will dissolve. Eventually, that pole will fall away because you'll pay the student loans off or they're forgiven. So if that pole falls away, do you have enough secondary poles holding up your credit that you'll still be afloat once that happens? Or is your house going to sink? You got to think about it like that. Do you mind elaborating on what you mean by rehab the account? Sorry, I'm financially ignorant. It has nothing to do with finances. I'm probably just not saying it in a way that you better understand it. Rehabbing the account means to repair it or to fix it. When you rehab something, you're fixing it up. You're making it better. So instead of removing the account, which is like everybody's knee-jerk reaction when you got late payments on your student loans for some reason, instead of removing the account, which will get rid of all of the history on the account and actually hurt your credit more than it will help your credit, you can fix the account so that, like, let's say you reach out to your loan servicer and you say, hey, I got some late payments that I want to rectify. Do you guys have any rehabilitation programs that I can be a part of? And they'll say, all right, you make 12 on-time payments and we'll go ahead and turn all of your late payments into on-time payments. And yes, some loan services do this. It really just depends on if you qualify for the programs or not. And so always reach out to your loan servicers to see what options they have for you. Yeah, I have 4 high interest credit cards that I could pay off with 1 low interest personal loan. So yeah, if you qualify for the loan and you got everything planned out and you can afford the payments, go for it. Yes, please join my Facebook group, even though I can't approve y'all till tomorrow. Please join the Facebook group. The Facebook group has all of the lives saved, with the exception of this one, obviously, because I can't stream into the live into the group, but they have all the lives saved. There's a lot of documents. For example, I have PDFs of both the FCRA and the FDCPA, which are the 2 law books that you really need to know when you're going through this stuff. I have both PDFs in the group files recently uploaded, and I have some free letter templates up there. It's just a lot of information in there. Where do we fix our personal information? So you can either call, which is what some people do, and I guess it works. I'm not big on phone calls because I feel like people can lie to me over the phone. But anything that a company puts in writing and it is signed or by an authorized representative or an employee of that company, that is considered a legally binding document. And so that's something that I can present in court in the event that it gets that far. So I always send letters. When I send personal information update letters, I'm telling the credit bureaus exactly what needs to be reporting and that they need to remove everything else. That's how I do it. And then I will address each letter to whatever credit reporting agency that I'm sending this into. So, and then I'm a credit repair specialist, so this makes sense. But I have these stamps. These stamps that I use are addressed to the credit bureaus. You guys can see this one is TransUnion. You can see this one is Equifax. But I use these stamps because it just it gives me a couple extra seconds, right? Instead of having to write everything out. Shout out to Quill. People 1,000% lie over the phone. LOL. Debt collectors use sneaky tactics to verify your identity. Yeah, so I pinned it to the top. I had a video go viral because I gave everybody a script that I give to my clients. And that's what they use to get debt collectors to stop calling them. And a lot of people was like, verifying your personal information is not going to update the statute of limitations. No, but admitting to the debt can. Agreeing to make a payment at a later date can. And a lot of you are, and I love you all, and you probably are very bright people, but in stressful situations, people fuck up, and they have a way to manipulate the information that you provide to them to make that into an admission, which could then reset your statute of limitations. This is why I tell you guys not, right, to talk to these motherfuckers over the phone. I just saw my boy. What? Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Is it correct that it's best to dispute in writing instead of, yes, never dispute online. The thing is, whenever you dispute, period, you have to understand what you're doing to the companies that you're disputing with. You are accusing these companies oftentimes of misreporting information. And if that is accurate, if the company, like the bureaus, right? If the bureau itself made a mistake and inaccurately reported information, they can get fined for that, right? There are consequences for that action. And so they're going to do everything they can to cover their ass. The bureaus are not here for us. They're businesses. Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion are businesses. And one thing about a business is they're going to prioritize their skin over yours. So why would you submit your dispute through them online? And you can't control certain aspects of your dispute. And if it comes back as verified for whatever reason, they're not going to allow you to go back in and then keep trying to dispute that same thing. Does that make sense? You also waive a couple of your rights given to you by the FCRA when you submit online disputes. So I just do letters because I don't got time. I just saw my boyfriend's address on my Experian account. I have nothing linked there, what I call Experian. Yes. How on earth did you get your life to do this? I had to fix my own credit. I always tell this story. In 2014, when I got out of the military for the first time, I was going through a really nasty divorce. My mom had cancer. It was a lot going on at the time. And me and my kids needed to find somewhere to stay. And I applied for an apartment, and the lady with tears in her eyes told me that she could not rent an apartment to me, even though I had nowhere to go. She couldn't rent an apartment to me because my credit score was so low. My credit score was a 444, angel numbers, right? So that was like my moment. Like, I really got to get my shit together. So I hired the Lexington laws. I bought the CPNs. I fucking tried to do the credit sweeps, and all of that shit came back and bit me in the ass. I literally had no choice but to sit down and be like, you know what? I cannot fucking live like this. Like, I need to figure some stuff out. And piece by piece, I really started to put my credit back together. Is my credit perfect now? Fuck no. I still have derogatory accounts that I just could not get the fuck off. But I've also improved my knowledge enough that I know, all right, cool, that wouldn't come off. How can I bury this account? Add accounts with nothing but positive reporting history, because the older late payments and charge-offs and things like that are, right, like the less of an effect it has on your score. Oh shit. Wait, I meant like how your live stream looked like this with little words and stuff, but I love your story. Well, so I use StreamYard to stream on TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. I knew I was missing something. And sometimes Twitch. So I use StreamYard. StreamYard allows you to brand how it looks, right? And so I designed this using Canva, the look and everything, and then I just uploaded it to StreamYard. I have a couple of them. Haha, we got a double answer, so it's a win-win. Can I speak with you after the live? I have a couple questions. So I can't do it after the live. I have literally a webinar starting at 8 o'clock tonight. But my email address is in my TikTok. And so in my TikTok bio, you can email me. I'm off on the weekends, but I'll definitely be sure to get back to your email on Monday. Any suggestions for beginner credit cards? Come to the webinar. You literally got 2 minutes. Get out of this live, go to my profile, click that link, and register for that first webinar that's at 8 p.m. tonight. We're going over credit building specifically, and it's geared towards people who really, so technically it was marketed towards college graduates and high school graduates, people who really don't have a credit history. How can they build from scratch? But I also have credit card suggestions for people who have bankruptcies, people who are rebuilding. What credit cards will kind of get you there? We talk about prepaid credit cards, all kinds of stuff. So hurry and register. You guys got 2 more minutes to register for this. But yeah, so I'm about to get off of here, but y'all know how we do. I do these every Friday. I love you all. Thank you guys so much for all of the support. I'm so close to 200K. So like, if everybody like send my profile to like their cousin or somebody, like I could get there. I'm so close to 200K. I think we're going to do Kahoot once I get to 200K. So if you guys were following me back in December for Vlogmas, we did Kahoot where I would buy gift cards and things like that. And I would teach you guys something. And then after teaching you, like we would do a Kahoot where you guys would answer questions and things like that to win the gift cards. So once I get to 200K, we'll do another Kahoot game. That's what we'll do so that you guys can win some things. But thank you guys so much. I love you guys for all the support. TikTok has completely changed my life. And it means so much to me that you guys trust me enough to follow my advice and listen to the things I have to say. Y'all know what I always say. Live every day like it's your last, but pay your bills and wear condoms just in case it's not. And I will literally see you guys in 60 seconds. 60 seconds, y'all. I'll be back. Bye, everybody.